103.5 WEZL. Jason Aldean, Dirt Road Anthem, 7:49. The next chance to win a trip to Vegas on the radio coming up between 9 and 9:30 this morning. If you guys won and I know this is a ridiculous question to even involve Rick in the conversation.
Here we go.
But there's a story here about a guy, a church in Georgia, a small church in Georgia, that after the plate was passed Sunday, they found a lottery ticket that was a winner for $80,000. Just somebody in the pew had dropped it in to give it to the church. And they said they're going to use it to replace the air conditioning that was all bust up when somebody stole all the copper.
All the wiring out of it.
All the wiring and stuff. So they're all very excited that they're going to have air conditioning over at the church again. But I'm just saying, now, would I do that? If I had just and Rick, I know what you'd say.
You would be surprised at what I'd say.
What would you say?
I would.
If you scratched a ticket today that had you won $100,000, instant winner, you'd be willing to give it to the church?
I would tithe on my winnings. I would give the church $10,000.
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask.
Would I give them a whole $100,000?
Yeah.
No. Did they need it? If they needed an air conditioner that cost $22,000, maybe. But I wouldn't give them the whole $100,000.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
How about you, Gary?
No, I probably wouldn't do that either. But I would tithe. I would do that. No question about that.
What about you?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I bet you'd give some money to somebody.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I'm just saying I wouldn't. I got college to pay for, man.
You'd tithe to the College of Charleston.
I would. And whatever was left over, I'd give to somebody else that needed it. Yeah. But I just, to me, it's just, it's amazing that some people are just wired that way. They're just wired to the point of where, it's just money, and they just can just do away with it like that. I mean, money, I don't. But at the same time, I'm not. $80,000's a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, it is.
It'd be hard to just hand that over to somebody.
I don't think anybody would expect you to give the whole thing over.
The church would be grateful for a tithe of that. Believe me, a church would be grateful for any donation of that.
I mean, if I was rich and secure and didn't ever have to worry about it, sure. I mean, if I could afford to give $80,000 away, I certainly would. But I'm not at that point in my life.
Right.
Like that guy what was the guy in California? Did you see the school administrator in whatever school district it was in California? His salary was like $268,000 a year, something like that. And he decided, since the school system was broke, and they were having to cut this class and cut that class and fire that teacher and fire this teacher, he decided to retire early and then take his job back the next day at $31,000 a year. So they could have the rest of the money they would have paid him for the next 3 years in his salary to use to keep teachers on staff. They said over the 3-year period, his salary that he's giving up will allow them to keep 40 teachers they would not have been able to keep.
That's a great sacrifice.
Unbelievable, man. That's unbelievable.
He said, I don't need the money. He had to give up his insurance and benefits, but his wife works, so he just got signed up on her stuff. So he still got insurance, and that way he doesn't cost him anything except whatever his salary is, $31,000 a year, and he's giving that to charity.
Oh my goodness!
Which is just, amazing.
Well, he must be well off then.
He said, I've had a good life, and I've been able to put some money away, and I've invested well, and I've got enough money to live on. Plus, he'll be drawing a portion of his salary because he retired. Mm-hmm. He will draw a portion of his salary in retirement. Mm-hmm. So he said, I've got plenty to live on. I don't need that much money. The school system needs it more than I do.
That's great.
You ought to do that so we can hire some part-timers around here.
What, give up my salary?
Give up the big chunk of it. Just make $31,000 a year. And that way we'd have a lot more people we got about 10 people doing the job of what used to be 40 people here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you gave that up, we could hire some more people back.
You think they would use whatever I didn't want to hire people, or would they use that
toward the bottom line?
Toward the bottom line so that they can pay that guy that $1 million bonus every year?
Probably. Just go ahead and keep your money.
That's what I'm thinking.
He's glad you said that.
Those guys in San Antonio don't need my money.
They got enough of their own.
They got their
We
own
need
money.
more of their money.
Yeah. Now, if they're going to hire somebody around here, we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll come off.
Really? Would we?
Well, maybe we'll each one of
You
us.
better run that
You
by your
say
wife.
we, and him say, what do you mean we?
No, maybe each one of us come off enough to hire one person. What
I'm
do you
lucky
think?
to be here with what I make.
No. I thought you were
I'm one of
loaded.
the ones
That's why
that
he's got
know.
a slushy machine.
Yeah, that's why I have to do all that other crap. If I made your money, I'd go home and watch TV right at 10 o'clock.
By the way, if you need to rent a slushy machine, call Rick Rush or a photo booth. He's got one of those too.